Hey guys, Anthony 4x4 Diesel. Just thought we'd run a quick video with maximum information about DPFs and DPF burns. Here we're in the 2019 1GD FTV Prado. I'm going to quickly go through how you know the vehicle's doing a DPF burn and how you can put it in customized mode, and it'll also tell you that, and a few other bits of related information. A little just quickly on the fuel economy, what actually happens when it's doing a DPF burn, you know what I mean anyway, right? So just quickly looking at the typical economy, so you can see we've just started the engine from cold, 9 minutes it's been running, 10.8 litres per 100 Ks. You can see the green, I think, was the previous, bang, that was what was happening. There was no DPF burns in any of this. This is your typical cold start. See the yellow there, start the engine. It's running, 20-30 seconds before you very slowly, gently drive off because it's all cold. And then each minute it comes down 30 per 100, 20 per 100. And then by the third minute, already getting under 10s, and then along the 10, either side of the 10, obviously. That's actually pretty good for a cold start. If we drove a bit further, it's just going to get better. Now, how do you know when it's doing a DPF burn? So if you've got a Toyota, Hilux or Prado type 1GD FTV and you haven't got it in customized mode, we'll talk about that a bit later. It's just in the standard mode. You've picked up the vehicle, this is what you've got. Most people aren't going to know when it's doing a burn. So I'm going to give you some information so you might be able, you might notice and then know that it's doing a burn, and you might notice a few things here. So when it's brand new with new tyres, stock standard, no extra weight added, it's going to get its best fuel economy. Don't worry about it loosening up later. That's just, it's not going to happen, right? Your best economy, because if you leave it standard, it might get, a tiny amount better. But as soon as you start modifying it, adding your bull bars, your tyres are a big thing. Any wind resistance and all that extra weight that you're constantly carrying around. This vehicle's a GX, currently weighs about 2340 kilograms, so 2,340 kilograms with about half a tank of fuel. So it's full at the moment, so it's going to be weighing probably just over 2,400 with nobody in the vehicle, okay? So very light vehicle. It's going to get the best fuel economy. Obviously, when you add your gear for touring and stuff like that, you're going to be up around close to the 3-ton mark, but still pretty light compared to many. Yeah, I was meant to be telling you about the DPF, right? So, see notice right now. You're meant to be taking notice. So we're sitting here with the engine in park. You can see displayed in blue up on the dash there. And you can see the engine's idling at 700 RPM, right? So over here, this is the tachometer. See, that's 1,000, right? So 0, 500, 600, 700 RPM. Okay. When we put it in drive, like you stopped and you're sitting at the lights, I should just leave it there. That's my habit of putting it in fourth, and if you watch my videos, you'll understand why. But if you put in fourth, you'll see the RPMs down around the 650, okay? We don't need to look too hard. Over here, right? So over here, I'm going to get it in there. See over here, right? C5, 6, you can see it's right between the two needles. So that's normal. That's with everything being normal, and it's not doing a burn, right? Pop it in neutral, pop it in park, same thing, except obviously in park the vehicle doesn't move. And just a quick note on the side, if you're parked on flat ground, you don't need to use your handbrake. If you've got an automatic, the vehicle's not going anywhere. Save the wear and tear on your cables and wear and tear on all that sort of gear. You just don't need to do it. I haven't done that. I haven't used that for a long time. Anyway, it's nice and tight. Anyway, that's probably why, because I don't use it. See, it's like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's pretty tight at 4 clicks. That's a little bit over tightened. That's capped service for you, going above and beyond. Back onto the topic, and I hope you love the way I go off topic, because that's important information as well, okay? Every word is important. DPF, when it's doing a DPF burn, I've demonstrated in other videos, so search our other videos. We may even have a playlist, I can't remember, I'll have a look. I might start one called DPF Information and put this video in there, and there may be already one there. I'll have a look after I've done the video. I really can't remember. I've got the same problems as you, so many videos, so many playlists, so much information. Just subscribe, turn the bell on, watch one a day, and if you've just found the channel and you're behind, watch an extra one a day. As soon as you see my phone number, don't ring me to ask questions. We've got all the Facebook groups, the information's in the videos. I can't take calls and everything from everyone, thousands of people. Sorry, I just can't do it, you know. We do have a parts business. That's Monday, text message only, Monday from 7:30 8 a.m. Watch the videos in the playlist, how to buy my kits, before you do. Anyway, DPF burn, how do you know? It's going to be sitting up, when you're in neutral like this, it's going to be sitting up about 1,000 or 1,100 RPM. Not when the engine's cold, not when the idle up button's on. So let's just take a quick look at the vehicle. So we've got that. What do we got here? We got this, yeah. Now this is a nice, beautiful GX, right? Right, here we are. Now, down here, where's that idle up button? Can you see it down there? Right? Right there. So that, if you bump that button or turn it on, it won't work when the engine's hot. Right now. Oh, hang on. I lie. Idle up button even works at full, well, we might not be at full operating temp. Okay, see that? When some people say, my car's revving up. So again, side information, you got 1,200 RPM. That, you know, I should have checked that on this vehicle, but on the 1KDs, generally that'll stop working at about, I don't know, 70 degrees. Let's see what happens in another video, and we'll see what temperature, if that cuts out or not. That could be handy for other things. Anyway, winching, whatever the case may be. But look, looking at the needle there, we're not up to full operating temp yet. We could have a look on our AutoFix 3210 we got from Trevor Ryan, Dirt Road 4x4, but we're using the devices and we're doing a video on DPF. So see what's going on here. 700 RPM, 650 RPM in drive. In neutral, when it's doing a burn, it's going to be up. If you've stopped in traffic, when you're in drive like this, you'll feel a pushing along. You'll feel the vehicle want to push forward type thing, like you've got your foot on the accelerator or that idle up button on. Let's just have a look at that idle up button. I'm just going to do a little test. Idle up. There it is. Now I'm going to chuck it in drive. Just like that. Okay, just like that. I've got to tell you, it's just like that. So if you want to know what it feels like to have a DPF burn, you can probably turn your idle up button on and drive the vehicle. It's going to feel very similar to that. When you pop it in neutral, the revs are going to go up to around 1,100. When you pop it in drive, it's going to drop down. It's going to sit around 900 in drive, right? With that load on the, it's going to be like I've got on the gas a bit. What I'm going to do now, put in drive, I'll just put my foot on the brake and the accelerator and just bring the revs up. It's going to be kind of like that. Okay. Now, a little bit more DPF burn information, since we're meant to be talking about DPF burns. The current software has the vehicles doing a burn about every 300 Ks. Okay. I only drive one of these DPF vehicles, so I can only tell you about one of them and what I believe would be the same software on all the 1GDs once they've got the latest software. About every 300 Ks. That doesn't mean it can't do a burn every 200 Ks. It has done that. It doesn't mean it can't extend out to about 350. I think very rare occasion I might have seen 350, 400, but it's pretty consistent at about 270, 280. So know that it's going to do a DPF burn about that often. If you're driving in stop-start traffic, that's where the slow driving, that's where I found it comes down to the 200. The only slow driving I ever did was on Goog's track. It's sand dunes. You're moving along 30, 40 Ks an hour. It did a DPF burn along the track. The DPF burn went pretty quickly, because as bizarre as this sounds, you think highway speeds, hot exhaust system is the best time for a DPF burn. But at one stage when we're in Northern Territory, sitting on 130 kilometers an hour, the DPF burn went for an hour. Okay, so the faster you go, the longer it goes. Quite common. This vehicle's used for highway runs only, generally only. It will last about half an hour, around about 40, 50 kilometers for a DPF burn, depending what speed, you know, around the 110 to 100, just thereabouts, you know what I mean, depending exactly what highway, where you're traveling, what load conditions. It lasts a long time. While it's doing the burn, it uses around about 20% more fuel, okay? So depending at what point you look at it, so if you add 20% more fuel in and it goes for about 40 Ks, in 270 Ks, you do the mathematics, right? About 30% of the time it's doing a DPF burn using about 20% more fuel. Divide that and you're going to work out, you're going to be using probably 5%, I haven't done the mathematics, I'm just doing, you know, quick, I'm not even thinking too hard about it because it could hurt. About 5% more fuel because of the DPF, right? That's just fact, it's just how it is. Okay, so that's how to notice if you're in standard DPF mode. You can get put into, you go to your Toyota dealer when you get your service and you say, can you please put my vehicle, the DPF, into customize mode? They just plug in, go into the software, put it in customize mode. Then what that does, when the DPF burn starts, it pops up on the dash here and it says DPF regeneration in process. If you're following my information, you've seen it in videos, you've seen it in photos I posted on our Facebook groups. Okay, that's one thing it does. The other thing it enables you to do, not that you would ever want to, is use this DPF burn button down here that doesn't actually do anything, right? You know, you can press it now, it won't do anything unless, right, unless your DPF's already at a certain percentage on the count, which we can't see at the moment because they don't want to give you that information. They give you a fuel gauge, but they won't give you a DPF gauge. They give you a temperature gauge, but they won't give you a DPF gauge. They won't allow that button to work so you can have some input and go, I'm about to get on the highway for 20 minutes, so I'm going to press it, and if it knows it's at least over whatever percentage, this is the best time to do it. No, that doesn't work. You've got to be pulled over at the side of the road. You're not allowed to touch the accelerator. It's got to be, and you've got to sit there for the 20 minutes or whatever it is. Do you think that's going to be the best burn? I don't know. You answer that question. Anyway, guys, that's how you can tell if it's doing a DPF burn. That's how much extra fuel it uses. That's how long the DPF burns last. If you're doing mainly highway runs, I will say the average time for a DPF burn is probably about 20 minutes, about 40 Ks. I'm talking about numbers here based on average 60,000 Ks of testing. You want to have a look? Here we go. Let's go and have a look. 60,000 Ks, right, of testing. Okay, so that's my understanding. That's how you can tell if it's doing a DPF burn. The other way you could tell is if you're driving along the highway and you're seeing, you've got this up and you're seeing 10 litres per 100 Ks more or less, and all of a sudden it jumps up, it's probably doing a DPF burn. You won't be able to tell because you're moving. You don't really notice any more or less power when it's doing a DPF burn. Well, I haven't. I don't know what else I can tell you. If you've got customize mode, you'll get it come up on the dash there. It makes this button more useful but still useless. Don't do lots of short stop-start trips. It doesn't know when you're about to get in traffic. So if you do, people do too, that's why the software's the way it is. It's probably going to solve most people's problems. It's the use that's the problem. See what I'm doing here, sitting, idling? This isn't the best. All the short starts, cold starts. Cold starts mean more soot because it's a cold end, everything's not working right yet, right? It's running rich, which means more emissions. Once you do longer trips, it's one cold start and you're doing 50 or 100 Ks, it's a cleaner burn, it means less soot. I hope you're with me with this. That's the same way as injectors, worn injectors, dirty sensors, filters, engines that aren't running right, blocked air filters, dirty MAF sensors. You're going to get more soot, which is going to contribute to DPF problems if you're not doing the right drives. Anyway, there's a whole lot more information. I sort of want to say sorry about the side information, but I'm not. I'm saying there you go, bonus side information. Hope you liked it. Please give us a thumbs up. That's what I've got for you. Bada bing, bada boom. All right. Subscribe, bell on, thumbs up. See ya. Thanks, guys.